Today's video is sponsored by Dubby and viewers like you. Use promo code INF10 for 10% off your order. Thank you very much. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Isaac and Friends figure review. So yes, I'm going to be doing a bit more of these. So if there happens to be a figure you're interested in seeing and I happen to have it around me, I might just pick it up if I have the budget. But, you know, I'm a broke retail worker, so I'll try and get some cool figures for you guys to look at. Today's figure is the Gundam Nu Type from the Gundam Universe figure line from Bandai. Now, I know in my short reviews I've said that these guys might be good figures if you just don't feel like building it, but honestly, the more and more I look at these guys, the less I'm finding that to be true. Honestly, can I be honest with you guys? Say hello to my master grade RX-78. Comparatively to the model kits, these things aren't great. But we're not talking about Amro's original Gundam here in its awesome model-y figure goodness. We're talking about this figure. And honestly, this figure really isn't that impressive. It comes with a single little pink blade and a closed fist and this that's detachable from the backpack. Of all of these, by the way, only one is detachable, and it does its little beam thing that maybe if you have a stand for this, it might look, sorry if I adjust the mic, it might look cool, but honestly, it's lackluster. I mean, this comes out of the backpack, but as you can see, nothing plugs in. It's basically decoration. Maybe it's just because I'm, again, spoiled by awesome figurine model kit goodness. And honestly, this figure itself is stiff, to say the least. Looking at its articulation, the head barely moves at all. It doesn't really go that far up or down. The arms can go up and down. Without its backpack, it can do a 360. Double bend at the elbow. Although I would say that should be pretty standard for any figure. Legs are a double bend, but they don't go very far. As you can see, the kick is not a very good kick. Spread is, well, I guess it's a okay spread. But overall, this figure is, well, Now, I paid $15 for this at Hyperspace Toys. It's not the super expensive thing, but considering that I know what these figures cost in brand new market of like $25 at somewhere like Walmart, it really makes it look kind of trash when I can get this. The high-grade Nu 2 for $5 more, and it's way more articulated and a lot more fun to play with. Seriously, I haven't been able to really put this guy down, or the RX-78 model kit. So, speaking of which, rather than making this a literal 5-minute video where I talk about a inferior pile of garbage, no, let's take a look at this bad boy. The high-grade Nu 2 Gundam. For those not aware, the high-grade Nu 2 is the upgraded version of the Nu Gundam which appeared in Char's Counterattack. And honestly, I absolutely adore this little dude. He is absolutely fun to play with, and I absolutely love him. He is like this tiny, adorable goodness that I just can't stop playing with. And he is very nice. As you can see, I painted his little gold eyes there. And honestly, if anything, for a few extra bucks, I mean, hell, he's a lot more articulated. You get a lot more with him. From multiple hands that you can build and play with him, from beam weapons that are actually conveniently stored in his little wings, as you can see here. Whoa! Oh, and these come off as well, and can make little beam cannons. Extra fun, and I actually went ahead and painted the interior of these too. Honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I enjoyed putting this guy together. I enjoy putting together model kits in general. And this guy especially was fun and intuitive to build. He's actually pretty easy to stand up, but with the exception, of course, that he can be a little back heavy. But I mean, can you blame him when he's got this much in the trunk? He's got all of the wings, all of the fans, all of the design. And yeah, I pretty much panel lined all of this, by the way. Honestly, comparison to what I used to have to paint all the time, this dude was not really that big a deal for me. Matter of fact, if I can find a little... Aha. Here you are. So, this is something I used to paint a lot. If you can see, that's a little stormtrooper. And just to show a size comparison between the two of them, here's the Gundam. Here's our little stormtrooper dude. You could imagine the difference between painting the new Type 2 over 100 little tiny super small stormtroopers where I have to get all the details in those as well. This guy next to the Gundam pretty much got primed, and I kind of stopped because, well, I couldn't play war games anymore. But overall, yeah, this figure is actually pretty fun. Obviously, his head goes up and down. He can move side to side a little bit. Unfortunately, his collar here makes it a little harder for him to turn his head. But his head's on a ball joint, so if it weren't for the collar, he could probably do a nice swivel there. Take the shield off, which is optional. His arms are a nice double bend. 360-degree turn. The wings, of course, go up and down. They can actually close in on the back as well. His little fin back here also goes up. Now, I did have to go in and glue that back together because I accidentally snapped it in half. These, of course, these little space move types actually go back and forth. He has a nice little waist swivel all the way around. An awesome, a fairly decent spread, but he's not really meant for spreading. The legs have a double bend and can kick really back to the back of him there. If I can get a good angle of it, there we go. But as you can see, he can really kick far back. And he can kick far up front once you move the front skirts away. Cat is over scratching at the door, probably doing his kitty things. And of course, his rifle does come off, but you can pop his hand right back on. And even if you want to, you can actually use other... Might help if I actually can put this thing back on here. Come on. Come on, work with Daddy here. Hang on. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. And there you go. The nice little trigger hand is easily rebuildable, so not too big of a deal. And there we go. To be fair, I didn't see the anime that this particular Gundam was in, but I picked his model kit up because, what can I say, I thought he looked cool. And he still does. He's a very attractive and very interesting figure. Matter of fact, sorry, had to find the box I had. Basically, the Gundam Universe figures, little plastic boxes I've been using as spare storage for the rest of my parts here. So I had to find which one it was. Unfortunately, as I begin to really not care for the you can take his little beam saber out there. Pop this hand off. Don't worry, sometimes these will do that a little bit, but it's very easy to just stick them back in. They usually don't come out that easily. It's just since the thing there is actually full rubber, so it's not as likely to actually come out. Sorry, I don't have Jobby's fun jazz music. And there we go. We now have the beam saber. His little beam saber is kind of interesting considering he has a beam not only up the front, but also in the back. And if you really wanted to, it probably wouldn't be very difficult to take the... Excuse me, I gotta try and set his feet correctly here. Speaking of which, he has an awesome up-down swivel in his ankles there that makes for a great ankle pivot. There we go. And to add just that extra bit of coolness, we'll pop this arm this way. There we go. And he looks even cooler. So, yeah. Overall, as far as the Gundam Universe Nu Type 1 is concerned, I'd give that thing about a 3 out of 10. It's okay. It's not the worst pile of trash I've ever seen, but honestly, comparison when you can just get a Gundam kit like the Nu 2 here, I'd honestly say just spend the extra bit of money for a model kit. Yes, it might take a little more time to build, and I mean, I guess the Gundam Universe figures are okay if you just can't build models. And I do know some people that have problem doing that. But the model kits are superior. To me, this is a nice little 8 out of 10. There are some things that I'd probably prefer to fix here and there, but overall, I enjoy this little guy. So, thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope to see you guys next time. Stay safe and take care, my friends. Oh, and actually, before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below.